every entrepreneur has a massive story of ups and downs. I find that, again, especially in this social media age, people are introduced to you where you are now, right? So if someone comes across your Instagram or your website tomorrow, they're like, oh, cool. Look at this guy. He's successful. He's talking about this. Oh, he's got this company with all of these employees. He's doing this. He's doing that. And oftentimes people just don't know and don't fully appreciate, and perhaps often don't hear the story behind it all, right? Yeah. They're just like, oh, this guy just came out of nowhere and has all these followers and is this, but they don't really understand what that process was like. So can you talk me a little bit through from going to working with that young man to get his income up and helping him learn how to sell stuff to where things are now? Because you now have over, how many employees do you have now?
Well, how much time do we have?
You tell me.
I mean, well, again, dude, that's 24 years worth of stuff.
That is 24 years worth of stuff.
But in a nutshell, when I started the company, I was way too early. The biggest challenge is I was way too early.
Okay.
People didn't understand what I was talking about. I'm talking about, listen, you don't keep training them the way you're training them. We can train them online, and then you don't have to be there and this, and they just weren't listening. I was ahead of my time. It took about 8 years to start really getting going. And until then, I'll tell you, I believed that I was going to be successful wholeheartedly the entire time. Otherwise I would have quit.
Yep.
So like if you would have came to me 30 days after I started the company, I would have told you in 90 days, I'm going to be a millionaire. Dude, there's unbelievable stuff going on. I'm telling you right now, 90 days, dude, I'm done. And in 90 days, you'd see me and you'd say, how's it going? And I'd say, well, bro, I'm this close. Like 90 days, I'm telling you right now, oh, I got so many deals cooking. Every 90 days you would have seen me, I would have said the same thing. And by the way, like I'll say it today, like 90 days from today is going to be way different than what's going on right now. I mean, I'm fairly successful now, but 90 more days because I got some deals cooking. It's like, I really believe that even today. But the whole entire time, I thought I was 90 days away from winning. So it's easy to keep going when you're 90 days away. Yeah. But a lot of people, they don't have that mindset. They don't have that perspective. They have the opposite. Even though they might be real close to winning, they think it's going to be forever. I thought the opposite. I thought I was going to be winning tomorrow. So it's easy to keep going when you think you're right near the finish line.
How do you maintain that mindset through that whole time? Because that's really interesting, because it has a lot of echoes with my own entrepreneurial journey and creative journey and everything. And most people do not have that mindset and don't have that tenacity. So where do you think, or how do you think you were able to maintain that process?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I believed it.
Okay.
So again, I wasn't fooling myself. It wasn't a technique that I learned. I didn't know what I was doing. I just believed it. Like, why did I believe it? Because I had a lot of things going on. I remember, I was going to close Tony Robbins. I didn't know it would take almost 6 years to do it.
Yeah.
So when I first, met with Tony Robbins, I'm thinking, that's going to happen in a couple of weeks. And then a couple of weeks later, it was a couple of weeks, and a couple of weeks later, it was a couple of weeks. And I just kept believing it was a couple of weeks away when it took almost 7 years.
Yeah. I think that most people I've said this before, I think most people in most things just give up way too early.
100%.
I think in everything, this could be a fitness routine. It could be a diet. It could be a business. It could be a relationship. I just think people give up too early, and a lot of success. Like I know and have met a lot of successful people in different fields at this point. And it sounds cliche, but you have to just keep going.
Well, sure.
You just keep on going. And if you do that, the fact is most people won't do the same. So you can often win just by being that guy who keeps on going. Everyone else over time is dropping out and making excuses and quitting and this and that. And you just keep on going. You don't need to get there the fastest. You don't need to have like the, overnight success or, boom, 2 years and your company is flying or whatever. But if you just keep on going, then you'll be the last man standing.
Yeah, I would think more people never get started than get started and quit too early. See what I'm saying? Like, believe it or not, I think the majority is they don't even start.
It's because they're afraid.
At least the ones that started and gave up started.
Yeah.
You know, but you're right. If you get started and you get discouraged and you start listening to that voice in your head and worse, everybody else around you, you know, it's pretty easy to give up, you know, especially if you're soft. You know, I wasn't soft. Like I was out on my own as a kid, you know, nothing really scared me. When I look back, like, you know, I have people go, geez, dude, that's terrible. You know, hey man, I'm sorry. I'm like, what are you sorry for?
Like, I'm alive.
Not only that, it wasn't even sad. It was like, it was a good thing to me. I was happy I was getting booted out. I wasn't sad. I didn't walk away. I didn't get abused. I got kicked out. Like, you know, my dad said, you know, go be a man.
Yeah.
And so what if I didn't get that? What if he wouldn't have been that way? Where would I be? I don't know.
Yeah.
So all I can tell you is whatever happened to me was a good thing. And also, you know, I realize what a lot of people don't. And that is money and everything that we think we want in life isn't necessarily what you want over life itself. And so once I realized that, I think I just have an advantage because I'm more grateful for just life than most. I wake up, I think to myself, I get another day. And then I go and do my little routine, and that's how I start every single day. Now, I never used to be that way, but that gratitude, I think, is the secret ingredient to life. And how I put it sometimes, there's a video that went viral about it. And I basically said, if I handed you $10 million, would you freak out? How'd you feel? They'd say, oh, it'd be awesome, yada, yada, yada. And I'd say, well, would you rather you get 10 million and not wake up tomorrow, or would you rather wake up tomorrow? And they're like, well, of course, I'd rather wake up tomorrow. So you are admitting that waking up is worth $10 million. More than $10 million.
Way more. Yeah.
How come you don't act like that then every time you wake up? Because every time you wake up and realize you just got a gift worth more than $10 million, and now you're going to run around and be boo-hoo because you didn't get your $10 million. Like, dude, you got another day.
Yep.
So if you get really focused and grateful on just having the life, the opportunity, you know what I mean? Then I think you're in a better advantage. So it creates optimism. So my morning routine, I get my blood pumping no matter what. I read something no matter what. I basically write down 5 things that are going to drive revenue this day. And then I reach out to 5 people, or I identify. I don't always reach out to them in the morning because sometimes it's 4:30, but I identify who I'm going to reach out to that day to build a relationship. And when I say build, nurture, you know, a relationship, because I realize all the revenue that's ever came my direction has come from a relationship. And if you think back, you'll go, mine too. And then you start to realize everybody's money has been derived from a relationship of some kind. So if you want more money, and I do, I need more relationships. Why? Because that's where money comes from. They tell you money doesn't grow on trees, but they don't tell you where it grows. It grows in other people's pockets. So if you want more money, you got to build more relationships. That's why my quote is, more hands you shake, more money you make. That's just the bottom line truth. So when I wake up with that gratitude, right, and I understand, I think the keys to life, like in other words, it's not about the money, it's about the relationships. When you get sick and you think you're going to die, you're not thinking about money.
No.
I'm telling people right now, if they don't even believe me, trust me, just throw the trust out there. If you got told you're going to die in a couple of weeks, you're broke, you don't care if you're broke. You're rich, you don't care if you're rich. All you're thinking about are relationships. That's all you'll be thinking about. And those relationships are what matter. Like, you don't have to get, critically sick to learn that. So you put the relationships over the money, right? First thing's health, because if you lose that, you'll give up everything to get it back. Then relationships, because if you're on your deathbed, that's all you care about. So don't wait till then to start caring about them, right? Get good with your relationships, build and nurture them on a regular basis, and then focus on the money. Because again, there's nothing bad about money. And when people are against focusing on it, I disagree with that as well. Because a lot of times people won't focus on money and then they're surprised they don't have any.
Yeah, and if you don't focus on it, then those other things, your health and relationships, take a hit.
Well, it goes back to being real. Like, listen, if you're offended because I find money attractive, I like money. I like what it does for me. I like what it allows me to do for others. I like the impact that it gives me. So I focus on it. Why? Because what you want, you should focus on. If you were one of those people that are like, oh, that's terrible news, I don't care. And a lot of people care. They care about what other people think. It's called allodoxophobia. Look it up one day. Everyone says, I thought you were joking. No, that's a real word. Allodoxophobia. It's the fear of another person's opinion.
And it's after death, it's one of the greatest fears that exists. The reason why so many people don't do so many things that they genuinely want to do is because of the fear of judgment, right? We're human, we're social animals. Why doesn't someone start that podcast, write that book, create that YouTube channel, start that business or whatever? It's some people say it's because they're afraid of success. I don't think it's because people are afraid of success. I think they're afraid that they're going to look foolish or silly in front of other people. They don't want
if it doesn't go popular.
Yeah. That's the thing.
They forecast this, the worst of it.
Yes, exactly. It's the same reason why, the vast majority of adults are afraid of public speaking. That one's called glossophobia.
Is that what it's called?
Glossophobia.
I'm going to go look that up. Glossophobia.
Glossophobia.
Well, see, I'm not afraid of that either.
Yeah, fear of public speaking. And it's because I always tell people, it's not because you're afraid of speaking. Like we all speak, we talk all day, every day. You're afraid that you're going to trip up on stage or you're going to not know the right word or you're going to
look stupid.
Yeah. You're afraid that you're afraid of other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it is. And it makes sense to some degree, right? Like we don't want to live in a completely, utterly shameless society where people are acting crazy because they literally absolutely don't care about anyone's opinions. But if it is the thing that's stopping you from achieving success and pursuing your goals and even helping other people, then that's crazy to me.